Hello and welcome to A Rod Pod. I'm Rodney,
And I'm Andrew.
and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today we're going to be starting our Life of series. And our first Life of candidate is my father, Rodney Daniel Ball, Sr. Andrew, can you tell us a little bit about what the Life of series is?
Yeah, so we want to get out your almost not everyday people. And you always see podcasts with like big celebrities and stuff, and you never really learn about people in more rural areas. So,
It's not relatable to people.
yeah, so today we got the life of a rural entrepreneur, and we want to talk to him, kind of get to know how he started things, his life, and any cool things he has to share with us.
So, how are you feeling?
I feel good.
Good to hear.
Glad to be here.
So, you have a pretty crazy life. You always say, not one day is the same. We want to hear about it. Can you tell us a little bit about like your background, how you grew up, stuff like that?
Grew up on this farm, the same farm you're born on. All my life, that my dad worked on machines, and that we had a logging business ever since I was a young kid. And that when your family owns a business, you learn to run all the equipment way earlier than everybody else does. I was running log skidder at probably 10, 12 years old, farm tractor, probably 8, that backhoes, everything that my dad had that I always thought was interesting. Uh, I logged for the family until I was probably in my early 20s. I went to the gas field, ran track hoe, dozer, Arctic rock truck, stuff like that, for the gas field for probably 10 years. And then I was tired of being on the road. I come home, I started my own. That right now I have 6 John Deere log skidders, I have 2 bulldozers, and I have 3 excavators, plus a series of skid steers. That I like to say I have the best toolbox on the street, where it ain't not too much dirt, wood, and steel that I ain't able to do safely and efficiently.
All right. So here's a question for you. You've lived on the same plot of land pretty much your entire life. Yeah, your entire life. What makes you stay? What doesn't, bring you out?
That the pride and ownership of having a farm, I kind of feel that a farm is not, nobody ever truly owns land. You say you do, but when you're gone, you don't own it. That the farm is kind of like a spiritual thing. I can't help but think of how many fortunes were won and lost here long
Absolutely.
before my family came here.
Yeah.
And that I remember like growing up, that when we was all kids living here, and if any of my cousins or whatnot would be in a bad way, their parents would always send them out here because there ain't no trouble. It's only hard work. And that usually straightened them up.
Right. You lived with a friend, or should I say, a friend lived here for a majority of your childhood or
Yeah,
your
different people.
developing
Yes,
years.
that we always had a border. That I know we had at least 3 different cousins that were heading in the wrong path, and their parents sent them here, and then a few different neighbors, kids, and whatnot. That farms work, lots of work, so all the help you can get, but at the same time, there ain't no trouble. If
Yeah,
you're a kid looking for trouble, they will work it out of you, and you won't find trouble.
yeah. So I heard you earlier say dirt, wood, and steel. So what does that really mean to you? And
That's my life. That's truly what I do. That Logan taught me anything was to be versatile. That I have 2 logging crews set up. That if it's rainy, muddy, whatever, I don't work. I don't destroy the land. I want it to be for the future. I always think, oh, the next generation can get these ones. Where a lot of crews just devastate, that I keep it spread out. Like right now, it's snowy and it's wet, so I ain't logging. And then I have an excavating crew where I move dirt, but it's still not necessarily the best time for dirt.
yeah,
Well, so I did industrial salvage today. That logging is the wood, the farm is the dirt, and then the steel is industrial salvage.
Okay.
That,
So that's really what your life's work has come to, this dirt, wood, and steel. You
yes.
wake up every morning. You do. What keeps you waking up every morning? What motivates you to say, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do this every single day.
That because I know my days are never the same. That like if you get up and you go to the same job every day and start the same office, that there just ain't me. Today I went and bought oil and State College. Tomorrow I might go. Lord knows that it's wherever it takes me. But I always I'm chasing the dollar, better for our family.
So you said no day's ever the same. What did you do today? Was there any
Yeah.
highlights, stuff like that?
That I online, this person was selling a barrel of 1540 motor oil that goes the very cheapest is $1,000. I talked them down to 250.
Ooh.
I made the trip. They was happy to get rid of it. I was happy to get it at a quarter of the cost. That even having all these machines, you have to keep them fed. They need the motor oil. They need diesel fuel. And the cheaper I can get it, the better our bottom line is.
Absolutely.
The more money I can put back into the machine.
So you're almost like you buy and resell stuff. So,
yes.
So
like here's a good example. I sold a skidder winch this evening, a John Deere skidder winch. One part out of it could be $3,000-$4,000. I bought the winch for $200 and I sold it for $1,000. All I did was just hauled it here, and throughout a few of my connections had it.
So what's like the craziest thing you've ever like bought?
That I bought a 2011 Caterpillar 914G wheel loader, the air conditioning, full glass cab, all hydrostat, top of the line machine. I bought it for 25 cents a pound, and I paid $3,000 for it. And then the low bookend is $30,000.
Wow.
So speaking of crazy things you've bought, can you tell us the story of when you bought those drill bits? I believe they were from the Australian company.
That I made a deal with this drilling company to buy 50 ton of steel off them. It consisted of new old stock, drilling equipment, drill steel, and Caterpillar tracks. Complete undercarriages. I bought 5 of them. That and I bought these drill bits that came, and apparently they're for drilling opal over in Australia. And don't know much about it. All I know is the money when I see it. And it looks special. That they didn't just look ordinary. There was a lot of science in it and a lot of high dollar material. And so I put a researcher on it. We found the owner of them, and they said that they was part of a $1 million unpaid contract, and they wanted them back. And I said 30,000, and they said 5, and I said okay.
So safe to say they're still in your hands then.
Yes.
So, you know, that's a pretty crazy thing. It's almost working with these international companies, finding yourself in these situations where there's a lot of money to be made. What is throughout your entire career, what is your proudest moment? What is when you think about what you've done with your career with dirt, wood, steel? What is the thing that you always come back to that's like, this was it?
I would have to say the past year I bought $150,000 worth of equipment, and I have 0 payment on it.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
So you say you have that great moment in your career. Was there anything that comes to mind, like for your biggest setback?
That just well, that setback, that's probably tragedy. Losing my father at an early age, and losing both my brothers at early age, because we was all similar and we was all in the same field. That I can't help but wonder if their passing wanted to happen, to how big the company would truly be.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if that's a setback, but that's kind of because when my father was alive and the business was growing, that this place was booming. There's employees everywhere, new vehicles, new trucks coming, and when you take one person out of the picture, everything changes, and it all came to a halt.
So here's a question to kind of go on with that. Are you ever scared of the future? Are you ever scared to go outside for the day and find that new project, that new job, Because what you say, no day is ever the same.
No.
Does that scare you?
No, because I'm schooled in versatility, I guess. That if it's a man-made machine, I can run it, and if a man was made to be able to work on it, I can work on it, and I can will and deal with the best of them.
Okay. So I want to ask you this. No day's ever the same. We've gone over that. What was the day that you woke up and you made the most money? What's something that you have done where you're like bringing in the most lucrative deal you've made?
That I a few different times I made 15,000 in a day.
Jeez.
Wow, that's crazy.
Can you tell us about one?
Well, that one where I bought that from the other drilling company. I bought a $30,000 bulldozer and a $15,000 lowboy, all for $15,000. So
Jeez.
truly, I made 30,000 that day.
Wow.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. So I guess we want to probably wrap it up there. We've asked you some good questions. So let's leave it off with something. What is your word to someone who's lacking motivation? Someone who's like, I don't know if I can go on.
That every day you get up, put your boots on, you head out the door. That if you just sit there on the couch waiting for it to come, it's not gonna. But you step out the door and just might as well go look at something, and Lord knows what that'll bring. That just get your boots on, head out the door.
Yeah, those are great words. Well, Rodney, it was a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that.
And I really appreciate being on the show, and it maybe in warmer weather that you can interview me again. We'll do something
Maybe
visual.
on the job site.
Yes.
Yeah, so overall, guys, I hope you like listening to, a different story that you don't really hear every day. Rodney has a pretty crazy life, if you want to say. So if you guys want to hear more, we're going to bring on some more people. We got my pap coming on soon. He has a crazy story. He's done everything.
He's done
from
some insane things.
war to tragedies to he just has a great story, and he's a pretty cool guy. So overall,
He is a cool guy, I know.
yeah, so we're thankful we had Rodney on here, guys. I hope you like the story, and that's probably about it for today.
Well, let's just close it out. I'm Rodney.
And I'm Andrew.
And this is A-Rod Pod. Thank you for watching.
Be sure to subscribe.